Once again, welcome everyone to this class, a grade 2 class. And today we will be introducing you to minor scales. Minor scales. So we'll be having introduction to minor scales. In the other coming weeks, we will delve deeper into different minor scales. Like A minor, D minor, E minor, different minor, how to construct these minor scales on the stave using both accidentals and key signatures. So it's just like a mirror image of what you did in the major scales when you what you did in your grade 1. And I hope we have not all forgotten how we addressed major scales in grade 1. You see, everything you learn in grade 1, you're going to use them in grade 2. Everything you learn in grade 2, you're going to use them in grade 3. So please don't throw away any knowledge you've learned from past classes, because they will be relevant and useful in future classes. So in today, just mere introduction. So we're not going to take time. It's going to be very brief. The real thing is going to start next week. Now, to start with, what are minor scales? So when we talk about minor scales, they are quite different from major scales. At least you know what major scales are. Major scales, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So you see that the major scale is formed on that intervallic pattern where you have a tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. All right. But the minor scale is different. It also has its own pattern. It also has its own pattern. The way tones and semitones are arranged around it, it's different. And you will understand why that is in a bit. Some people, this is just by the way, some people think that, oh, minor scale sounds, a bit somber, a bit, so sad, a bit soulful, compared to major scales that sound exhilarating, that sounds exciting, and that sounds happy. But that's yes, you could argue that, but that's not our main focus here. This is just by the way information. Now, major scales are generally built around the 6th degree of a major scale. Now, what do I mean? If you have your major scale, take for example, C major. Do you remember the scale of C major is what? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Am I right? That's the scale of C major. Now, if you want to turn it around so that it's no longer the scale of C major, you want to build a minor scale from that major scale of C. What do? You write out the scale of C and then you go to the 6th note. So what's the 6th note in C? What's the 6th note in C? A. So you start from A now. Instead of starting from C, you now start from A and you just go from A to A. From A to A using, so you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. It's like you are rearranging everything now to start from A. The same scale, but you are rearranging everything to start from A. So because you are rearranging that major scale to start from the 6th degree or the 6th note of the scale, it becomes a minor scale. So it becomes A minor. So any major scale you pick, you can rearrange it to become a minor scale simply by starting from the 6th degree of that major scale. So for example, we've done for C major, you start from the 6th degree of C major, it's A minor, and then you just go from A to A. It's the same scale with C, but it's just that you've rearranged it, all right? And instead of starting from C, you're now starting from A to A. So it's no longer C major, it's now A minor, but it's just to give you an idea of how we build minor scales. Do you have any question?
Alternatively, counting backwards 3 degrees.
Yeah, I don't want, that's the reason I don't want us to talk about backwards. Yes, I mean, you're correct, whether it's forward or backward, but the 6th degree, because why we talk about the 6th degree, remember we talked about degree names. Degree names, tonic, supertonic, all right, mediant, subdominant. So what's the 6th degree called? The degree names. What's the C of a major scale? What's the 6th degree called? The 6th degree called? Don't tell me you've forgotten. What's the sixth degree called?
God.
Submediant. So I could have said that a minor scale is the submediant of a major scale. So that's why we say sixth degree. We don't say third from the back, because third from the back is not, yes, it doesn't give you that picture of a submediant. The submediant comes when you count from the front. So the sixth note is where you build your minor scale from. For a major scale, the sixth note of a major scale is where you build your minor scale from. Okay. Now there are different types of minor scales, right? There are different types of minor scales. You have the harmonic minor, the melodic minor, and the natural. Okay, and I'm going to explain this in a bit. Now, for the purpose of your exams, and given that you'll be writing online music theory exams, you'll be examined only on harmonic minor. But it's good for you to also know the other types of minor, all right? Now, let's start with the natural minor scale. Like the word says, natural minor scale. Now, the natural minor scale is built from around the sixth degree of a major scale. What I've given you an example. When you have a major scale and you rearrange it, instead of starting from the first note now, you start from the sixth note and end on the sixth note. It's the natural you form the natural minor scale because you've not added anything to that major scale. You've not added additional sharps or flat or anything. It is the same notes that are on that major scale that you are using. The only thing is that you've just rearranged it to start from the sixth degree. Do you get that point? Do you understand that?
Yes.
So that's natural minor. You've not done anything. You've not added anything. You are just rearranging the major scale to start from the sixth note to end on the sixth note. And I've given you the example of C major. You could do it for D major, for E major, for F major, for G major, and if you are rearranging a major scale that has a sharp, when you rearrange the major scale to get the natural minor, that sharp must still be where it is. For example, if you have G major, F is sharpened. If you rearrange G major, what's the sixth note for G major? What's the submediant? What's the submediant? Sister Naomi, what's the submediant? G major.
Is it A?
E, yes. So it means that if you rearrange G major, you get E minor. Am I right? E minor. So when you go from E to E, you are not doing it, but if you are writing E, the F that comes after, will it be sharpened? Yes, it has to be sharpened. Because remember, you have to maintain everything that is in that G major. The only thing is that you are rearranging the starting point. And that's natural minor. So it's just natural. You're just doing things naturally. Okay. Now, what does that tell us? I guess you guys have done relative keys. Have you done relative keys? Relative keys, that relative major, relative minor. Have you done that? Yes or no?
I think so.
You said? Have you done, can we be responsive, please? Have you done relative major, relative minors? Yes or no?
David taught us some. Bro David.
Yes. So what did he tell you people? Sister Emanuela, where were you taught in relative major and relative minor?
Um, we were taught about if you pick um, a specific major key, how to identify the its relative minor key. I think you have to go back around. I'm assuming 3 steps. Sorry, I'm not quite sure how many steps you have to go back, but there's a specific amount of steps you go back from that key, from that major key to get the minor key of it.
Yeah, okay. So it's exactly what I'm telling you here now, that the sixth degree of a major scale is its relative minor. So A minor is the relative minor of C major. So if you have a major key and they ask you what is the relative minor of this major key, just go to the do that, construct the scale of that major, and then go to the sixth note or the sixth degree. That is the relative minor. For G major, the relative minor is E minor. If you have a minor scale and you want to get the relative major, then it's the third degree. The third degree of your relative minor is the relative major. For example, if you have A minor, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, what's the third degree of A minor? Is C. So the relative major of A minor is C major. So it just works both ways. So please, you have to note that it will be very useful in your minor scales. It will be very useful in your minor scales because you'll be working between minor and major. So you need to understand what relative majors and relative minors are. So you see, everything we are teaching you is a whole sense. You have to know everything as a bulk. So going back to natural minor, you start from the sixth degree of a major scale and just reconstruct without changing or adding any sharp or flat. What I mean, you only retain what is in that relative major. If there is no sharp there originally, then no sharp should be there. If there is one sharp there, then when you rearrange, just that sharp should follow in your rearrangement. Now, what's the intervallic pattern for natural minor? It's tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone. All right. You remember major is tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. For natural minor, it's tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone. Now, you may not need to cram this. If you can know A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and then you can form the intervallic pattern with that, it will give you this. So you can use it for any. So if I ask you to give me natural minor for D minor, if you use this, you're going to go from D to D, and that will be D minor. Okay? Yeah. For natural minor, just like the major scale, when you write your major scale, you ascend the same notes you have when ascending is the same notes you have when descending. Am I right? So the pattern for ascending is the same as descending. So it's the same thing for natural minor because, like I said, natural minor is just a rearrangement of the major. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what you mean is that the minor will be descending of the major.
No, I didn't say the minor is the descending of the major. The minor, you will have its own ascending and descending.
Oh, okay.
It's a scale. It's a scale. So you're going to write A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Then descending A, G, F, E, the way you descend.
Okay, okay.
Scale. So I'm only saying that if you have a major scale, if you want to form a minor from a major scale, it's the sixth note of that major scale. So that you will that you are going to so if you have a minor scale, for example, I want to think, hey, come on, this is the minor scale. Where is this minor scale coming from? From what major scale is this minor scale coming from? Then you go to the third note of that minor scale.
Yeah.
Okay, this minor scale is from C. So it
Mhm.
means I'm going to use the key signature of C for this minor scale. It's a minor scale starting from A, but I'm going to use the key signature of C because it's coming from C. So the minor scale uses the key signature of its relative major. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, the next one, which I want you to pay attention to, like I said, you'll be examined on harmonic minor scale. But if you know natural minor scale, it becomes easier for you because harmonic minor scale is simply natural minor scale with a sharpened seventh. So you have your natural minor scale, but the only thing is that every time you do your natural minor scale, no matter what you've done, once you've done your natural minor scale, you must go to the 7th degree and sharpen it. Do you understand that? So let's go back to the example we gave about A. A minor. A minor, all right? A minor. Now, A minor is coming from what major? A minor is coming from
C major.
C major. So it means everything should be, the natural minor should be all whites. So I have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, G, A. Now that is natural minor. But if I want to make it harmonic, then I will go to, after I've written the natural minor, I will go to what is the, in that natural minor, what is the 7th note?
B.
B, I'll sharpen B.
Mm.
So I will have A, B, C, D, E, F. No. The 7th note is not B.
Sorry, is G.
It's G. So you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, A. So you see, the difference between the natural minor and the harmonic minor is that you sharpen the 7th degree of the natural minor. So that's it. So when you're asked to construct an harmonic minor, what you just need to do is to do, okay, what major is this minor from? Do the natural minor, sharpen the 7th, or that's one way of doing it. Another way you can do it is to use the intervallic pattern. The intervallic pattern is tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, 3 semitones, then a semitone. So if you want to be doing intervallic pattern, you have a lot of pattern to memorize. So it's better for you to understand how this thing works. Okay, if I can get the natural minor, let me just even get the natural minor. Once I know the natural minor, I construct the natural minor. Well, I don't even need to know tone, semitone. I don't need to know all these ones. Just construct the natural minor, meaning get the major scale that natural minor belongs to, invert it from the 6th, do everything, and then just sharpen the 7th degree of that natural minor. Else you want to do this. Why do we say 3 semitones? Because remember, when you sharpen the 7th degree, then the distance from the 6th degree to that sharpened 7th degree is now 3 semitones. For example, from F to G sharp is how many semitones? Sister Naomi, is how many semitones?
Is it
F to G sharp.
is it 3 semitones?
3 semitones, you're correct. Yeah, that's it. So that's why you have that 3 semitones there. So between the 6th and the 7th, sharpened 7th is 3 semitones. That is the difference between the natural minor and the harmonic minor. You see, in the harmonic minor, natural minor, you have tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. But you see, you have borrowed a semitone. Look at the natural minor. Sorry, for the natural minor, you have tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone. All right, tone, tone. So you have borrowed a semitone from the last tone. When you borrow a semitone from the last tone, you've made it, reduced it by a semitone. So it's not a semitone. You've added that semitone to the previous tone, which is in the natural minor. So it's now 3 semitones. Does that, do you understand the flavor on how to kind of work your way from natural minor to harmonic minor?
So it means that in the natural minor, the leading note is 1 tone, but in the harmonic minor is 1.5 tone.
No. This is harmonic minor, 1.5 tone.
Yeah, but in the natural one is 1 tone.
In the natural one, it's a semitone. It's not, no, you are looking at the interval. We're talking of, are you talking about the interval between the leading note and the first note, or the leading note and the 8th note? That's from the second to the last note to the last note. So the interval is a distance.
from what you're teaching, I'm talking from this what you're teaching us now on A minor. If it is the normal natural minor, it's gonna be one tone, but for harmonic, since it's three semitones, it means 1.5 tone for harmonic minor for the leading note.
I think you are missing it. These things don't represent notes. They represent distance between notes. So each of these T is a distance, like this first tone is the distance between the first note and the second note. So it's not first or second note. It's between A and B is a tone. All right. Then between B and C is a semitone. So you see, I'm saying between this. So if you're saying three semitones is between which notes and which notes. So the three semitones is between the seventh note, which you have sharpened, and the last, that's the eighth note, which is like an octave. So the three semitone is not just the leading note. These are not notes. These are intervals. Intervals are like distance between a note and another note. So maybe what you are trying to say is that the difference between natural minor and harmonic minor is that the distance between the seventh note and the last note for natural minor is just a semitone. The distance between, it's a tone rather, it's a tone. The distance between the seventh note and the last note for a natural or an harmonic minor is a semitone. So in a natural minor, you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So between G and A is a tone. Harmonic minor, A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, A. Between G sharp and A is a semitone. Does that make sense now?
Okay, I understand. So what you're trying to say is that we should not count it with the leading note. We just count it the difference between the sixth note and the seventh note.
That is how you count interval. So you don't say the leading note is three semitones. No, these are not leading notes. It is a distance between this note and this note. That's what they represent. And for this harmonic minor, just like the natural minor, it has the same descending and ascending. So it's the way you construct up, you also construct coming down. That sharpened seventh must be there also when you are coming down. So you have A, B, C, D, E, F. You have A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, A. All right? Then you are now coming down A, G sharp, F. And you come down like that again, you understand? So the seventh note, whether it's up or down, has to be sharpened. Now, the last one we want to look at is melodic minor. Like I said, you may not need this for your exam, but it's good you know it, all right? Because you will meet it either in the next grade or in your grade 3 or something. So it's just good for us. Now, the first thing I want to talk about the melodic minor is that it's different. It's different. The way you construct ascending is different from the way you construct descending. So it's a bit complicated than the others. You know, I've talked about natural minor scale is the same going up and coming down. Harmonic, a sharpened seventh, is the same going up and coming down. But melodic is different. Ascending is different from descending. Now, when you are ascending, what do you do? When you are ascending, it's still your natural minor scale, but you sharpen the 6th and 7th degree. Are you getting the point? So remember, harmonic, you only sharpen what? 7th. And it is the same going up and down. But for melodic, you sharpen the 6th and 7th degree. So if we are to do for A major, for A minor, it will be A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Because F and G are the 6th and 7th degree, I sharpen them. Do we get that point? Aha. Okay. But when you are descending, just go back to your natural minor. All right. So what does that mean? When you are descending, you have to naturalize the 6th and the 7th degree to show that they are now natural. So ascending, sharpen 6th and 7th degree, descending, remove the sharps and make it just natural. So the descending of the melodic minor descending is the same as the natural minor descending. So whatever you have as your descending for natural minor is the same thing as your descending for
Yes.
minor. You said what? It's the same thing as the descending for the melodic minor. Okay? So if we were to go back to the example I gave you, if you do ascending A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, melodic minor. Now let's descend. It will be what? A, will it be G sharp? Will it be G sharp, Emanuela?
Sorry, when we're descending.
Yes.
I mean, no, because
What will it be?
it'll be G.
How will you tell us that is G on the because you'll be writing on the stave? How will you tell us that that is not G sharp, that is G?
G natural.
So you add a natural
G
sign.
natural.
You add a natural sign if there is no bar line. If there is a bar line, you don't need to add a natural sign. Just put your note there because the bar line has neutralized the sharp coming from the other G sharp and F sharp, right? But if there is no bar line, you may need to put a natural sign. The same thing you do for F sharp. Make it F, and then you move on. All right. And that's all so we've talked about natural, melodic, and harmonic. So next week, we're going to look at details more about how to construct these things using the key signature as well as accidentals like you did in your major scales. This is just an example of what I spoke about. If you look at A natural, for example, A natural is just, remember, A minor is from C major, am I right? So C major, no keys, the natural, no black or white key. So it's just A to A, nothing. So you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Then you come down like that again. Same ascending, descending, nothing, because this is just a relative minor of C major. But for the harmonic, so if they ask me to construct the scale of A harmonic minor, what I need to do first of all is to construct a natural minor. All right? Once I construct a natural minor, I just come and count my seventh note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the seventh. I sharpen it. Simple. And when I'm coming down to, so I sharpen it here, I also sharpen it here. Please don't put this bracket. It's not necessary. So just sharpen it here, sharpen it here. Okay? And if I want to do melodic minor. If I want to do melodic minor, I still kind of draw my natural minor like this. And then I just go to the 6th and 7th note of that natural minor and just sharpen the 6th and the 7th note when they are ascending. And when I'm descending, I put a natural sign to show that I'm removing the sharpened 6th and 7th degree. Does that make sense? Okay. So do we have any question? And that's the end of the minor introduction to minor scales. Like next week, we'll talk more details about constructing these scales using staves and how you can. So you'll be looking at A, D, and E minor. A, D, and E minor. All right. So any question?
Why are you canceling? What were you canceling in the A melodic minor? Why were you canceling the 7th and 6th notes?
Yeah, because we want to make it natural. So we go take it back to natural. Remember, I said when you are descending in your melodic minor, it's the same as the natural minor descending.
Okay.
So we have to remove the sharp and the two sharps were added when ascending. And how do you remove sharps? Is by using natural signs.
Okay.
So this descending now, these two shows that they are all natural. So everything here is natural, which is like the natural minor descending.
Okay.
Any other question?
In which case do we need this melodic minor?
Maybe next for grade 2, grade 3, you may need it, but for grade true, I want you to focus on harmonic minor so that you don't put too much things. It's a step at a time. You perfect your understanding of harmonic minor. It helps. Harmonic minor is just, if you know harmonic minor, you almost know melodic minor, because harmonic minor is just to add, in the harmonic minor, you've already sharpened the seventh. So in the melodic minor, just sharpen the sixth and it's 6/7. When you're just descending, so just it. So that is that. Okay, so so name each of these minor scales. Okay, let's focus on this. Now, can you tell me what names, what is minors? These are minor, you have been told that these are minor scales, all right? So you don't need to guess. These are minor scales. So can you tell me what's the name of these minor scales?
The first one is
Okay, one by one. So Sister Joy, you go first. The
A
first one
harmonic,
is what?
A minor harmonic, harmonic minor,
A harmonic minor. Why do you say it's A harmonic minor?
because the seventh note is sharpened.
Brilliant. That's fine. Okay, Sister Manuela, what's the second one?
It's E uh E melodic minor,
Why do you say it's E melodic minor?
because
If you say E melodic minor, is this ascending or descending?
oh, it's descending. So I think maybe it's harmonic
So why?
instead.
How do you know it's
Should be
harmonic? How do you know it's harmonic?
because the ascending and descending are the same for
Yes, and then because what happens in harmonic?
the seventh in degree is sharpened.
Good. But yeah, you have two sharps. Yes, you have the seventh degree that is sharpened, but you also have the second degree that is sharpened. How do you explain that?
When you are descending from the last note, if you are to get the seventh note from the last note and sharpen it, I'm assuming that's what's happening because descending.
No, but this descending is not descending. Yes, this is the seventh note, the descending, but this second note is also sharpened. What I mean, after you have E, you have F sharp. So why is this F sharp F sharpened?
Because from E to F sharp is a tone.
Okay, yeah, that's correct. If you look at the intervallic structure, between first and second should be a tone. But I also expected you to say, oh, simply because the relative major of E is G. E, F, G. Remember, when you have a minor scale, the third note is the relative major. And in G, F is sharpened. So that F has to also be sharpened in E minor, because when you are taking the relative major of a minor, you are retaining the sharps or the flats in that relative major or minor. I mean, relative major. Do you understand that now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Sister Naomi, over to you. What's the third one? What's the key? What's the scale? I can't hear you. You're muted.
Is it E?
E. You said E. Why did you say E?
No, I'm trying. Is it email?
What's the scale? What's the first note? First of all, look at it. What's the first note?
E. The first note's E.
Is that E?
No, it's D.
Good. So you have to know what the first note is first. Now, you've already gotten the answer. The first note is D, but now what you need to know, is it melodic or harmonic or even natural? So what it is? What is it?
Is it melodic?
Why do you say it's melodic?
Because
What happens in melodic?
two of the keys are sharpened or flattened.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say two of the keys are sharpened or flattened in melodic. Nothing, no, there's nothing like flattened in melodic or in harmonic self. Go back to what I said here. What did I say about melodic? What did I say about melodic? What happens in a melodic scale because this is ascending, as you can see. So what happens in a melodic scale?
Is it that the seventh note is sharpened or flattened?
You are still mentioning flattened. Did you see flattened in all the thing I was talking about when I was talking about harmonic or melodic? Did I mention flattened? So why are you mentioning flattened? In an harmonic scale, the seventh note is sharpened. In a melodic scale, the sixth and the seventh notes are sharpened when you are ascending. All right, is that okay? So
Yes.
with that now, what is this one? Is it D harmonic or D melodic?
Is it D melodic?
So why do you say it's D melodic? How do you know it's D melodic? Sister Joy, you want to help her?
Yeah, it's harmonic because it's only the seventh note that has sharp.
Now that's it, Sister Naomi. It's harmonic. If the sixth and the seventh notes were sharpened, then you say, oh, it's melodic because it's ascending and the sixth and the seventh note. But no, only the seventh note is sharpened. That makes it melodic. So why is the sixth note flattened? Why is the sixth note flattened?
Yeah, because his major is also flattened.
What is the major? The relative major.
F.
The relative major of this D minor, Sister Naomi, the relative major is F major. And if you remember in F major, what note was flattened in F major? Do you remember?
Is it B?
It's B. So in your D minor too, B has to be flattened. So that's why this B is flattened. Do you understand now?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. I will not go through this because we've already done it. I will not go through this. I'll just leave this, All right. So that brings us to the end of today. You can look at this later. It's just to tell you, fill in the gaps. If you are descending harmonic minor, you fill in the gap. Of course, the seventh note has to be sharpened if it is every other thing remains the same. So you just need to either use your intervallic structure to do this, or you think about what is the the relative major. In the relative major, what is sharpened or flattened? Then add it to this, and then that's it. And then you add your seventh note. Okay? All right. So that brings us to the end of today's class. And in the absence of any question,
There's a question.
okay, go on, please.
I'm still not satisfied why descending, why you did not put, you canceled the accidental in the
For the melodic minor?
minor. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the rule. That's so it's not what I did, it's what the rule states.
Okay.
Yes, it's
Is
what
it applicable to the harmonic?
No, I said in harmonic, ascending and descending are the same.
Okay, okay.
And that's why I kept saying that ascending and descending are the same, because I know we are going to come to one where the ascending and descending are not the same. That's why I kept repeating for harmonic, for natural, ascending and descending are the same, just like your major scales. But for melodic, it's different. Ascending is sharpened sixth and seventh.
Okay.
Descending, natural. Okay. All right. We will end it there, and hopefully we'll carry on next week.